As we were about to land, I just started staring out the window and I was thinking about how the Wright brothers had the right idea to never give up on your dreams, to always persevere. Because if those two brothers had given up and stopped because things weren't going right, and stopped because one of the brothers who would get in the plane and fly would crash, and they didn't let that be a factor to what the aeroplane would be. So I'm grateful for them because I get to fly, but I'm also grateful for them because I get to tap into the spirit of consistency. And that's what I was thinking about as we were landing into Newark Airport. After a much needed trip, I saw my family in Atlanta and I had a ball. And I decided that the spirit of consistency will be my portion, that I will no longer sit and think about things and not at least attempt it. Because you just never know what happens if you try. If you put one foot in front of the other, you have no idea what can be on the other side. So, with that being said, gotta be serious, gotta be dedicated, gotta be consistent, and you must understand me. You must stay positive, regardless of what it looks like. You know, you have to stay positive. Things are not always what you want them to be right then and there, but you got to trust the process because everything is a process. There's no overnight sensation. And if it is an overnight sensation, then God bless them and may heaven smile upon them. But one thing I do know is you've got to crawl before you can walk. You have to crawl before you can walk, and you just don't know, like, what lies on the other side if you just keep at it. So that's what I took from this trip. You know, I enjoyed the food, the laughter. My sister turned 60. It was so beautiful. The party was amazing. I need to upload some pictures and things like that, but it was the ride home that gave me some meaning and some depth. And I was also so glad. Like, we had a safe flight. You know, you watch the news and you see how these planes are coming down and everything, but not this one, not the one going and not the one coming back. And I'm grateful. So I just reflected looking out the window. I was like, wow, you know, no matter what, you can't give up. No matter what, you have to keep going. Because if they had given up, you know, the airplane, I believe, would have came because other people were trying. But, you know, who's to say it would have came, you know, it could have came years later. And, you know, we would be behind in the times, but thanks to them, we're not.